is to make sure that people who are responsible for whatever happened to this young man, they are brought to justice one way or the other. But we are not going to do that through the social media. But there are so many unknowns about the death of this young man. And the people who can help us is the police. For now, they've set up a committee to investigate. That is one way about it. The body has been exhumed. That's one way. But it's not limited to that. You have that committee, then there should be another subcommittee. One committee is dealing with the medical aspect, like the exhumation of the body, the autopsy. That's one. Then another subcommittee will be looking for circumstantial evidence relating to the death of this young man. There will be another subcommittee who are taking statements from witnesses. That's how you can build a cast iron case in order to get the justice which everybody is demanding for. And there is one important thing which I'm going to mention here. And people are not pointing finger. It doesn't mean I'm accusing the wife, doesn't mean I'm accusing the father. But you see, when the police needs to widen the net regarding the death of this young man, and when you are investigating an homicide, you leave no stone unturned. You understand? First of all, one, the conduct of some of the immediate family members are very disturbing. And I must say this to you, and I'm not saying maybe the wife is guilty or the father is guilty or anything, but that is the way these things work. When you are investigating homicide, you might be looking this way. At the same time, you need to look at the immediate family members also. And you have seen situations whereby, you know, as I do, wife come on telly, crying, saying this, and then at the end of the day, they are the one behind the death of their husband. And you have seen it vice versa also. Now, the issue remains this. Shortly after this guy passed away, there was something posted by the wife saying, you can have your trophy now because he has always lived in fear, he's been pain and this and that. Now, you see, that is understandable. But it begs the question, what did you do as a wife? Did you seek help? Did you cry out at that time? Maybe if she has done that, maybe the husband will still be here. That is hypothetical. But the sub points to that. Now he has passed away. You now went to lawyers, saying they should help you to get justice. You see, when you look at that, to me, it doesn't add up. And I must say this to you. If I marry you, Vero, we have a mutual duty towards each other.
Absolutely.
Do you understand me? Now, let's look at it for the ease of understanding. The night before, we quarrel. You don't talk to me as my wife. I don't talk to you as your husband for one reason or the other. Husband and wife quarreling with each other is part of the wear and tear of love. Absolutely. It's not new. And we went to bed. During the course of the night, I developed this stomach pain, severe stomach pain. And you could see me wrenching with pain on the bed. But because we are not talking, haven't you seen a message from another woman on my mobile? You are just looking. Then, regrettably, I passed on. Now, the next day, people will troop in and say, oh, sorry, oh, you lost your husband, blah, blah, blah. No doubt you will cry, because that's how you can come to terms with the grief. But are you not a suspect? That is the question. Because when the medical examiners come into play, they can tell you that had it been I received adequate medical help for the next 6 hours, I wouldn't have died. And you didn't do anything. So, you see, and that can cause all sort of, if you fail to act when you are supposed to, you are equally liable. And people have been charged for manslaughter for this sort of situation.
Right, sorry, let me put in. Very nice, the hypothesis that they've actually advanced. But then, was it not, could it have been that the wife was aware when Mohbad, because he allegedly wrote petitions against some of the aggressors, to the police. Is it that the police also didn't act when they were supposed to act?
You see, these are the missing piece of the jigsaw that somebody will need to help us with, either through the inquest or through the criminal prosecution. We will know as time goes by. But for now, what I'm saying is that, you see, the police should widen the net. And I'm repeating that. Because even if you look at the conduct of the father, no, we sympathize with them. I'm not saying they are responsible. But, you see, what do? You join the dots, look at things in the round, and then you make a case. Now, the father, from the look of it, seems to be a man of God. Let's just say that for the sake of argument. Because what he's been saying is that he gave him a land to build a church. So he must be religious in one way. Then if that is the case, you lost your son. We know in that state of mind, you may not be able to think rationally and then in a state of confusion. What is this idea of let's bury him in the middle of the night? Now, his excuse, he said because it is the culture where he comes from. He's a Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm not an Hausa. So that culture says that if you lost your son, there shouldn't be a befitting burial. What we should do is to bury the child in the middle of the night. And you know the local ballet, what he said? He said, no, you can't do this. It's around 12 midnight. Why are you coming with diggers and everything to bury him suddenly? And I must say something to you, too. You see, if you look at some of the contracts of this guy, he has with the promoter or whatever the people are. If there is a death clause, and the death clause provides that in terms of sudden death, the promoter or whoever will pay the sum of so amount to your next of kin, either during performance or outside or sudden death. Anyway, it is probable that some people will be planning your death. Okay? But that is the reality, Vero, please. And also, I must tell you, if there is an insurance policy that will pay substantial amount of money, okay, in terms of sudden death, either a whole life policy or term policy, whatever it is, there is a possibility some people will be planning. And we have seen situations whereby wife planned the death of their husband because in order to get
insurance policy
claim. Do you understand? And the problem I have with the police in this case is that either the exhumation of the body, I'm not blaming them, it seems to be very hasty, but maybe they are still doing other things. The best thing that can lead them to the right course is take his phone and do what they call a cell phone analysis. When you do the cell phone analysis, you will know those who he has been communicating with, period to the death. You will know those who have been threatening him. You will know those who have been having one issue or the other.
Sorry, do you not feel that would pose some challenges? Because there was a video of him talking to the wife that what happened to my other phone. At least we have the same backup.
iCloud, yes.
We have
backup on their iCloud.
You're right. Yes. So why did you delete it? So that is this what you want to post?
No, that's not even an issue. I will tell you how it works. If I send you a message that, oh, you are my honey pie, you are my this and that and all these salacious messages, and then you read, you delete, that's fine. It's still in your mobile. 3 years down the line, if there's a criminal investigation and we retrieve that mobile and do what we call a cell phone analysis, all your messages would be there. And I still vividly recall some years ago, I represented this drug dealer. If you see the messages, in fact, there was a woman, I think the guy was dating one woman in Nigeria. If you read, if all these women, that woman body part is in this guy's phone. And when they did the cell phone analysis, you'll be surprised. This woman can compose some messages that when you read them, your head will turn. And I must be sincere to you that we even, because, you know, when you are doing all these cases, you label them. So we call her tutu fruity. Because all our own messages, we have to narrow them down. You understand?
Right.
But if you see what goes on there, so if whether it is deleted or there's a video arguing with the wife, or that is not even an issue. They can still get it. Because don't forget, all those messages are still there. Once we know the number, you give it to the expert, and that will lead the police into it. And the other question which I'm concerned about is that, you see, the father is somebody who is knowledgeable in a way, because there was a decision whether they should build a church and what have you. Then why are you in a hurry to get this guy buried? So what I'm saying, police must not leave any stone unturned. Forget the exhumation. Exhumation is one part of the missing piece of the jigsaw. There are other things they still need to look at, and there are other things they need to obtain that will lead them to the right place, so that they know.
So perhaps you need to expatiate on some other things that they need to look into. Yes, you've talked about getting his phone and also looking into the family, because you talked about the conduct of perhaps relatives at the burial site where they were talking about his properties, so to speak, and all of that, as well as his wife, expanding that net, because some Nigerians are saying they do not believe that they'll get justice at the end of the day with whatever is going on. But as it is important we get to the root of this matter. It
is. You see, once there's a sudden death and we don't come together to ask questions, you don't know where the next victim is going to come from. Right. It might even be your relative. It could be somebody very close to your heart. And you yourself may not you will not become normal. Because, so what we all need to do, if we have information that will assist the police, let's pass it on. But what they've done, they set up this committee, we don't even know how to contact them. Some people may have the information that will help their investigation. Right. Because you need to engage in what they call a filtering system. When you are investigating, people are giving you information, and are we going to follow this? Are we going to lead? This can lead you to any other thing. Yeah, you getting me? And at the same time, while you are treating people as a victim, at the same time you must be treating them as a suspect. And there was an incident that happened years ago in London. This was even strange. The man set the house on fire. He has about 8 children, and he's been asking the council to give him a bigger accommodation. And the council are saying, we will put you on a waiting list. So what he now did with the wife was to set the house on fire. Now, let me tell you, the initial belief was that it was the work of an arsonist. Now, later on, they set the house on fire, things went wrong. 2 of the children sadly passed away. Now, there was an outpouring of emotion within the community, candlelight procession, what have you. But the police now shoot somebody as a liaison officer, helping them. The liaison officer will be keeping them informed about the progress. But at the same time, some set of police officers are secretly investigating them. And what they did was very unique. They now said, look, the remaining children, we know you've lost 2 children. The remaining children will be taken into care by the social services and placed with foster parents, which is quite okay. Right. But you and your wife, we have already rented an hotel for you to lodge in. Because you can't stay in the house. Wow. Let me tell you, but the police have already bugged that hotel, that room. And do you know what happened again? That same night, they even make love. I'm telling you. And in the course of that, the man now said, you stick to the story. You must back me up to the end. From there, they now realize they are the people behind. But if we keep treating them as victims alone, and we don't treat them as suspects, will they get that result? That is the question. Right. You get me? So you do get that sort of situation. And the police needs to make sure they turn all the table in this case so that we get to it. And the other thing I would like to mention quickly is that, you see, this guy, is just unfortunate, the circumstances that led to his death. But there's something that is happening now. People are going there, donating money to the mother out of human compassion. There's nothing wrong, but they should stop it.
Why?
Thank you for asking me. You see, when deaths happen and it's not well handled, issues will remain forever. Okay, take that. There are families in this country now, as we speak. because of the death of their loved one and the way their brother handled the funeral and the properties, because of that families, they are not together
again
up to today. And there's a Yoruba program I used to watch just to know what goes on in the local Mugbejo or something they call it. Yeah. You see people coming, then you ask yourself, how did this happen? Now, let me tell you. Now, people got, one of the senators, he said is the chairman of the Creative Arts. He visited the mother. And the media report in this day was that the man gave a substantial amount of money. There was somebody called Todike or something.